Hello, everybody. I'm Jack. Welcome to another episode of Raw Tropical Living. Thanks for tuning in today. Um, I'm actually shooting this one the day before because I'm shooting it on a Wednesday. Got to go to Pensacola tomorrow, and it makes me think I better get some video shot for the week that I will be at Woodstock. Actually, going to be gone about 10 or 11 days in all, and I don't know how the internet's going to be there, so got to figure that out. Today I want to talk about low-fat, raw, vegan weight loss fiction. I do videos every day, so I'd really appreciate it if you'd go down there right now and hit that subscribe button. Then click on the little bell and check send notifications, or you may not stay subscribed to the channel. Sitting in a different spot, I'm actually shaking some things up. When I get back from Woodstock, I've cleaned off this table. This is where my fruit used to be. Now I'm going to keep my fruit station over here. And this table is big. It's a dining room table. It's going to be my desk. Actually, I will be sitting on the other side, or actually, I don't know. I won't have to see where how the glare is on my monitor. But anyhow, gives me more room to move. I've got some freedom and big space here. But anyhow, weight loss, low fat, raw, vegan weight loss. I was almost hesitating. I was getting ready to do this video, and then I'm like, well, you've done a number of these. You probably did one. I think I did one a couple of weeks or so ago, or actually talking about weight gain and just some practicalities. But I think it's one of those messages that bears repeating a number of times, because there's just a lot of fiction and fallacy out there. Listen, I'm about reality. I'm not always the warmest, fuzziest person, but reality is reality and truth is truth. Just because, we don't like something, we can't, try to say it's not right because we don't like it. There's facts out there. There's facts that we don't want to accept, but they're still facts. It's kind of like that good old law of gravity. Whether you believe in law of gravity or not, you step your foot off the cliff, you're going down. And here's one of the things I think is the biggest thing that's either happening with people's understanding of a low-fat, raw, vegan lifestyle and consequently weight loss. And the people that are not losing or that are gaining, that are having a problem with the weight on this diet, I think in a lot of circumstances, and once again, not painting everybody with the same brush, but a lot of people are simply fooling themselves on what they're telling themselves about what they're eating, about this, or they hear some of this convoluted BS that you can eat everything you want, all you want. And sometimes that can be true, eating certain things. But if you're not hearing the full message and there's a lot of fat slipping in there, or, there's a lot of processed food, that's a thing too. I was going to say, how much are we talking about on your low-fat, raw, vegan? Are you eating whole foods? Are you eating... I'm just trying to think of any possibilities. Mostly, to me, I think it comes down to the combinations, what the fat is combining with. Not just the amount of fat, but how you're eating it. And the third way I think it can be is people are actually mistaken. Actually, that's the second. People are mistaken about how much fat they're taking in, maybe how many calories they're taking in. And they think they're doing low fat, and they're not really doing low fat. Now, for me, I define low fat, and this is for me, I'm not saying I think this should be a universal definition. Low fat means 10% for me. That's the line. Just like the whole 80-10-10, whether I follow that lifestyle, completely or not, I've always liked those numbers. So 80-10-10, 10 is what I consider low. But I don't want to get into splitting hairs or being into, okay, it has to be strictly like that. Let's say low fat. I think it could probably, people shouldn't see adverse results as far as weight gain or weight loss, even if you're eating up to 15% fat. One thing I want to find out is I want to know how this is possible. Or the third one, I'm kind of jumping around, you're an exception. I do understand there are exceptions. I don't quite understand why there are exceptions. I think that probably has to do with our environmental factors. I think I might have mentioned that yesterday in a video. But, about how we're always saying well, everybody's different and everybody's body processes this differently. And in one way, I ask myself, well, why? Do any other animals like that? Does a tiger Are all tigers different? Do they process their food differently? Do gorillas, who are mostly, I'm thinking, vegan, if they're not completely vegan, do it differently? I don't think so. I really don't think so. But uh, eating whole foods. I can't gain weight sometimes when I want to. I have to really okay, now what am I doing? I have to sit down. I have to really focus to gain weight. If I let go and don't pay attention for a while and I'm not focused on what I'm eating, my weight goes down because I keep it low fat and I don't eat a lot of fat, and I'm not fanatic about the fat. Somebody made a comment recently, and it wasn't a rude comment or anything. They were just kind of asking, like, well, are you obsessed with the fat? No. Once again, like I've said in these videos, I eat what my body has led me to eat. If my body tells me this afternoon it wants 2 avocados, I will go get 2 avocados and I'll eat them for dinner. I'm not sitting around, like going, God, I sure would like some nuts, or God, I sure need some fat, but I won't eat it. Being strict with myself. I just, from the way I've progressed and been doing this thing in the way that I do it, not jumping back and forth, not doing gimmicky stuff, but just moving slowly forward, moving forward over several years. This is just what my body wants. Actually, it can, I think, the opposite can be a problem. Sometimes I have to really think like, okay, you're not eating enough. You need to add some more fat. But normally that works itself out. I'll go through the summer, leaving next week. I come back. By the time I get back, it's almost September. As the weather starts to change, get a little bit cooler, I will kind of morph into a different way of eating, I'm sure, because I won't have watermelon. God forbid, who knows, maybe I go for a while without mango. So there will be a different way of eating. There will be a different way when it gets cold. I'm still feeling some of this stuff out. Having lived in Costa Rica for 18 years, the season thing is still kind of new to me. But the point being is, when I say, like, how can you gain on this lifestyle? How is it possible to gain weight on this lifestyle, not wanting to, or not to lose weight if you want to on this lifestyle, if you're eating low fat? I mean, I just don't get the correlation. I cannot. I see people talk about all the time, or not all the time, but I do see a few people, and I respect a lot of their knowledge, that talk about you can get fat on fruit. And it may be a misnomer. I might be getting into semantics. I still say I don't believe you can get fat on fruits. Well, I'll amend that a little bit. Technically, the avocado is a fruit. So yeah, I guess you can get fat on mostly fruit if you're scarfing down avocados. But I don't see how. Low fat, eating all the fruit I do, I have to eat like a maniac to catch up. I can't imagine low fat the way I do it, not eating very much. I can't imagine how I would gain weight. I would have to eat all day, every day, not miss a day doing that. And it would still, I don't think I could gain. I mean, it's just not possible. You got to have some of that fat in there for the weight gain. So, look into it. Be objective with yourself. Once again, it's not about arguing with me or agreeing with me. You're not doing yourself any favors if you're just fooling yourself. Be objective. Look yourself in the mirror. Figure this stuff out. That's why it always comes back to, and I'll throw that one piece of advice I always say to throw in there. Keep a food journal. Keep a food journal. And I don't mean just loosely like, okay, I had a big salad for dinner. Write down as close as possible everything you're eating. Then if you're not getting the results, whether it's weight loss, weight gain, you have skin issues, whatever, then you have a clear record right in front of you. And put every morsel. Don't be like, okay, well, I just ate a bite of this. Write down, I ate a bite of this, or I ate a bite of that. And if you're asking for help from somebody and they ask you a question, you can answer intelligently and without having to rely on tricky memory or whatever. You can be like, okay, well, this is what I do, and another person, because I'm going to almost guarantee you, and I'll finish with this when I talk about the exception. If somehow I could get it, I had a transporter here, a teleporter, where I could go through, time travel, or just travel from place to place. If I could morph to your house, I'm gonna say that a large majority of the people that think they can't lose weight or think that this lifestyle's not working for them, if I sat and watched them, if I lived in their home for 30 days, I would probably see all, I would be like, okay, you're doing this, and this, and there would probably be something in there you could troubleshoot. Once again, all this stuff is my opinion, but I I've got 6 years of experience and I've got a lifetime of knowing my body and personal experience. One thing I like to always stress is, when you see people visually, when you see people doing videos and Instagram and what have you, even if I share them from time to time, you don't quite get that before thing. You don't quite listen to the before story. I was a fat kid. I mean, I was big. I've been going through some old photos. I was a little roly-poly. I lost a little bit, but even all through my life, I was a big guy. So I've had that. I'm not one of those people that's just talking out of the side of my mouth, that's always had a great metabolism, those people that can eat anything and never gain an ounce. No, I had to always work to keep the weight off, and then when I get a little bit overweight, I'd have to work to take it back off. So it's all a rather simple thing, but just face the facts and know what you're doing. And if you decide this is how I want to eat, at least know. Don't fool yourself. Whenever you look that person across from you in the mirror, that's when you need to be the truest with yourself that you ever are. Anyhow, just my 2 cents worth. Hope you guys enjoyed this one today. If you like it, please give me a thumbs up, and we'll see you tomorrow. Peace.